Hi, welcome. I am Mary Mazur, and this is Change Your Funk to Fun. And this talk today is I Let Myself Shine and Move Again. So you're going to be letting yourself shine and move again today and from here on out. How about that? Ooh, I have a beautiful guest today, Kristen Nathan, that we'll be bringing in. Kristen is an experienced therapist. She's a grief counselor and a spiritual medium with a passion for nature and the outdoors. So, Kristen has a special interest in psychic healing, helping clients who are grieving or seeking answers, resolutions, or comfort in their journey by way of channeled messages from loved ones on the other side. Kristen has an approachable, conversational, relatable style in general. Her background as a therapist is an asset in working sensitively with tough emotions or situations that come up in spiritual readings. She is a compassionate, accepting, and authentic. And she strives to create a safe space for her clients to share vulnerable and sensitive aspects of their lives. In her free time, Kristen can be found in the mountains, hiking, backpacking, camping, snowboarding, and rafting. Though she's usually seeking out her next adventure, during quieter moments, she enjoys spending time with her dog and painting the landscapes that she visits. So we'll welcome to the show, Kristen Nathan,
Thank
to the show.
you.
Hello, Kristen. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me today.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And we will be sharing a little bit about each other, how we met, how we connected, and exactly that you and I have a lot in common as far as why we're here, what we're doing to help, and then let those whoever's listening to us now receive that gift today. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
All right, excellent. So the topic today is I let myself shine and move again. And so the premise with that one is that there have been times, especially you'll be talking, I'm sure, a lot about it, is those grieving times, those times when we have had great losses in our lives, and especially loved ones that we have. That's a huge one, or it could be a loss of a dream, a loss of a job, or a loss of a way that we thought or even just what we thought our lives were supposed to be, and then it's turning out different, because that can actually be quite some grieving parts too. And then, yeah, a lot of us, our lights will go dim. Like we just kind of like deplode or lose ourselves, things like that. And then even get enduring where they just kind of get stuck, or maybe I can't do this, or nothing's ever going to happen or change. And then, yeah, people will get in ruts, call it ruts or pits, those kind of things. So,
Yeah.
and the gift is whether we've ever had those before, and then maybe feel like, hey, we've worked through them, we're living again, we're going again. But if there's still parts of us that like, wow, might cycle back in that again, it is, I'm sure you realize too, it's super important to address them, to really clear them out, to bring the gems of why they're here. And that's what I'd love to talk with you about. So, sound good?
Yes, that sounds great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. So if you'd love to share a little bit about yourself, like how did your gifts open up? Like how did that happen for you? What do you love most about like what you do to help? And then yeah, exactly. This is going to be
Yeah.
organic. So whatever is meant to come through with you and me, let it be a gift, right? Sound good?
Great. Yeah. Yeah. I've been a grief counselor now for about 10 years, and I've really enjoyed that. I love working with my clients that are grieving losses, like you mentioned, ones that I hadn't even thought about too, but jobs and dreams and things like that are important too. But mainly working with people that have lost family members or friends, even pets. I get that one a
Mm.
lot. And so that's been interesting. But I've kind of over the years found that when I was connecting with clients, I would sometimes get downloads of information that weren't my own.
Mhm.
And I always kind of suspected it was coming from like the people that were on the other side, but I was too afraid to really say anything. So I would maybe just, drop something into the session and kind of keep going.
Mhm.
Um, but it came about in a really big way a few years ago when my grandmother passed. We had a really neat connection, and some kind of interesting things happened right around her passing that I was like, okay, I'm getting more information than I thought.
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
I actually had a client's mom come through relatively recently with a
Mhm.
message that was very pertinent to her life, and um, it was kind of a struggle to share it because I'm a therapist, so I thought, gosh, is this really even appropriate? So I reached out to her and asked if she was open to talking with me a little bit, and she was. And so I shared what I got, and we just had this really cool session with, her mom. Her mom had passed really young, so it was a really difficult loss for the client. And so I think just to know that she could feel that connection was so important to her. And it was really fun for me to be able to just share the information.
Oh, right. I bet, right? Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah. And what a
Yeah.
gift, because for many of us, if we weren't raised with that at all, whether it was religion or culture,
Right.
right, no one ever talked about that, right? So it's,
Mm-mm.
I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, the way I
Yeah.
was raised was kind of like, no, it's like, once they
Yeah.
pass, they're just, in heaven or purgatory, because the way I was raised, I was
That's
taught
it.
that, or just, and there's that
Mhm.
peace, but there was definitely the separateness, that instead of the connection.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was always kind of, well, you'll see them again at the end of your life. Maybe you can reconnect then.
Mhm,
Was kind of
mhm.
what we thought. Yeah, in heaven or whatever. You go there and you'll see everybody again.
Right, right. But yeah, how
Mm,
about this? So this might be a big, big opening for people to realize,
yeah.
yeah, no, actually you can connect and you can,
Yeah.
yeah. And then,
And they come through really cool. You can really feel the spirit of their personality coming through, which has been so fun. I've
Mhm.
been really lucky to have some really interesting people come through that have just been a lot of fun. They, have a message or something to share and, sometimes humor, which is really fun.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Well, and if it lets us know too, that reminds us that we are eternal, right? Just because your body is done, you're not here, but you're right, your
Yeah.
spirit, your true essence is
Yeah,
eternal and doesn't move on past this, right? Yeah. Isn't that
absolutely.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, so yeah, and
Yeah.
then if you wanna share how we met, we can even do that. That'll be great.
Yeah, yes. So Mary has been such a light for my life. I was really struggling before I knew I had any of these gifts. I was in a rut. I was stuck. I was burned out, and I had seen one of Bruce Lipton's videos on PSYCH-K, and I thought, "Huh, what's PSYCH-K?" And so I did a search, and Mary, I think you were maybe the first one that popped up, or I liked your profile the best. And so I started doing private sessions and just loved them. I mean, my life turned on a dime with your
Mm.
help. I mean, just I can't tell you the number of things that just changed. Well, you were a witness to a lot of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, things just really started to change. And then I took your training in Fort Lauderdale for PSYCH-K, the basic training, and that was really great. We had such a good group.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just really tapping into those limiting beliefs and changing the subconscious mind has really blown the door wide open on all of this. My intuition and,
Mm.
these abilities to sort of channel. I don't know that I would have found that without your help and without PSYCH-K. So it's huge.
I love it, I love it. Well, welcome, welcome, right? And I
Yeah.
think, yeah, this is happening for a lot of us here, which is yeah, the
Yes.
the hint is that this is why we're here, is during those times, right? Yeah, to really step out of just surviving or just getting by, right? Or just, going to work and going to work and then doing the same thing over and
That's
over
right.
again, right?
Yes, that's where I was stuck. I was burned out, and I thought I've got to do something different, but I just couldn't figure out what it was.
Oh, I love it. I
Mhm.
love it. Excellent. So are you able, okay, to also share, and I'll share too, is like what has helped you like with letting yourself shine? And where are you on your journey with that? Because that's what we want to ask other
Yeah.
people to ask that question. How am I with letting myself shine? Which means sharing our
Mm.
gifts. We're meant to share our gifts. We're meant to
Yeah.
discover our gifts. We're meant to share them,
Yes.
right? And enjoy ourselves here. Like live in the love and the joy and the bliss and the peace here, not just
Yes.
love, love, love life, right?
Right. Yeah, the grind.
The grind,
Um,
right.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been a challenge just because I think, fully embodying and sharing that light sometimes can feel a little intimidating or like maybe a
Mhm,
turn off to some people who are not there yet.
mhm,
And so
mhm,
that's been really interesting, but it's interesting that your show is about movement because I think where I've been able to most shine is in nature and doing things
mhm,
like hiking and climbing mountains and backpacking and just getting out there and moving my body and getting still as far as the peace goes.
mhm.
That has helped a ton. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. And that is true because
Mhm.
we are physical beings here. We're human physical beings and we are meant to move. It actually is an important piece, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think, sometimes I see clients where they get really hung up on, oh, I have to, go to the gym or run on a treadmill or lift weights, and those things are great, but I think you can even just get outside and go for a walk, and that has such huge benefits to, our mental health, physical health, opening up some of these gifts. I think for me, that's where it happened a lot, was out in nature.
Wow, wow. Thank you for that. Yes, and nature is here to help us greatly, right? Yeah, and you live in Colorado, which is so beautiful, right?
Yes, yes, I'm lucky.
Yeah, yeah, that is so huge. And me, I'm in Michigan, and I'll be going down south for the winter time too. But you're right, and we do. I mean, us living in America, I think we can go to almost anywhere that for wherever we would love, for the experiences to help us move again, right? And yeah, and I'd love to
Absolutely.
offer with that. So with the movement, the whole point with that is that we are energy beings, and being that we are energy, actually love and light energy beings that are in this physical form, is movement is actually a really important piece. I'm actually taking a training with Daisy Lee with the Shift Network, which I'm so grateful for, to become a certified Radiant Lotus Qigong practitioner. There's another quill in my whatever toolbox. And a lot is even for my own self, and obviously for others. And what it's helped me with is like it actually is even then the more feminine energy, where it's just the slowing down, like you're saying, go for a walk. Yes, people can run. I used to be a runner. That was I definitely had to move a lot of energy fast. That's awesome. But like you say, but how about just gentle stuff, gentle movements, even just while we're here? Like my body likes to move. I'll probably be moving a lot while we're here
Yes,
just because my system likes to flow. It's yeah.
yes,
Yeah, and with
yes,
that, exactly, letting the energy within us keep moving, letting the life force, that the breath that we take every day is actually really vital. Every moment that we
yeah.
breathe, right? And then letting that go. And then any restrictions that we have, in our body, in our life, and those are the things I think I'd love for us to talk a little bit more on, like what is blocking us, what is limiting us. Those are important pieces because it's important if you can recognize them, you can actually do something about them. And I think that's what the gift of PSYCH-K offers for us, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting how it works too. It feels like almost like peeling back layers of an onion. I would start with this one big limiting belief, and then you would say, and how are things now? And then I'd go, oh, wait, there's another one, and you can just kind of keep going, which I just love about Psych-K. You can really touch on any limiting beliefs. And we all, I think, have so many without even knowing it.
Right, right. Well, and that's it. Yeah, exactly. Especially us that were born in the 20th century. So, because, whoo, we did. And if we, I mean, if we can even just take a step back and kind of look like, what did our parents go through? What did our grandparents go through? Our great grandparents, even all the lineages of thousands of years, right? We've come a long way coming out of the dark ages, as we would say, right? And then the gift is that we are in the Aquarian age now. And I mean, you would probably agree too, is that everything is radically changing, like radically, like, right. And
Yes.
fast too, right?
Yes.
Like we're just like, poof, right? What we could have imagined 5 years ago to where we are now, I don't think any of us would have
Oh,
predicted that, right?
no, it's interesting. I've had a lot of clients that I've worked with over the years noticing that too, and they have a lot of questions.
Mhm.
What's happening to me? What's happening to everyone else? So that's been
Right.
really interesting. And it's like I'm right there with you. I might be one little tiny step ahead just because I've been doing this for a while, but
Hmm.
it's a lot when you feel like your head's kind of spinning.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, and that is true because you and I are just a little bit farther in the journey, before maybe some other ones, and that's okay. Like we all have
Yeah.
our timing, right? We all have our gifts and our purpose. Yeah, you and I just right, exactly. Probably woke up a little earlier and just said, "Oh heck!" And I, for me, I'm like, "Yes, yes, let's go."
Yes, I was right.
Right, right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you for that.
Yes.
And then, so with this talk being episode 3, I'll give a little caveat too of what the other 2 were about, so that what this can really bring in. Actually, I have there's 12 episodes, and my spirit team is the one that's downloading me with all of these too, which is really beautiful, which I appreciate.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and with before Psyche, I wasn't connected with any of this stuff, so that's what I
Me
was really
neither.
grateful.
Yeah.
Right, I know, which is a beautiful tool, and there are other tools. We do honor lots of tools that are here. Psyche is just a very fast and effective one, and that's nice, especially with these changing times. It's really nice to have a fast and effective one, right?
It
To
is.
to work, yeah, and for long term changes. So the first 2 talks that I did, the first one was about safety, so that it's safe to be here in your body and feel. And
Mhm.
that's probably a huge one too. And we'll probably talk about all three of these here, but then really emphasizing letting
Mhm.
us shine. Because
Mhm.
when you can actually anchor in knowing that you're safe here, PSYCH-K helps you do that greatly because you literally reprogram your subconscious mind. The parts of you that didn't feel safe, maybe because of the experiences that we had, even with losses, when someone loses someone, a lot of times we don't feel safe. We feel like, man, when am I going to go? Or when's somebody else going to go?
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
With today having the topic or the focus is that I let myself shine and move. In order to be able to help yourself do that, it really is important to anchor in knowing you're safe here, safe in your body, safe to feel. And,
Mhm.
and we'll be talking about that, what happens with grief, right? Where that can really get pulled out. And then even the whole that I can trust myself and trust others again, because when we lose our trust, that also it can create us to really like to actually stop, to actually maybe I can't do something, or I stop, or you endure, or you just kind of get stuck, like we talked about. So
Yes.
we're going to help
Mhm.
people with moving again, to get unstuck, to move again, and to shine again, which means let yourself feel the love that you are, feel
Mhm.
the uniqueness that you are, and let yourself enjoy life more. So that this is the whole
Mhm.
premise for this talk. Sound good?
Yes, it does.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Is
Mhm.
there anything you would like to share with the clients that you have served, with your stories? Because it is neat, because it lets people know that this is real, that the changes that can happen. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I tend to work really, well, in my grief counselor life, I work sort of long term with people. So I often see them, shortly after a loss when
mm,
really they're not feeling safe or they're frozen.
mhm,
A lot of despair, a lot of just, not knowing which way to turn. And we start really, really slow with breathing. Just I have somebody really, feel their back against a chair, feel their feet against the
mm,
floor, just take a deep breath in and out. And we may just do that for a little while to get people sort of grounded. And then, another small one, we'll just start with like rolling the spine up and back and down and up and back and down. Cause
mhm,
you can do that sitting on your couch, even if you can't get up and go do something.
mhm,
Um, it's just a really simple movement. And through a series of those kinds of things, then stretching, maybe meeting them in the park and going for a walk. I've seen people really start to turn things around and feel a lot safer, a lot more capable to at least put one foot in front of the other after a big loss. Um, and then, of course, over the long term, a year or two, maybe even three, really getting back in touch with the light and the love and knowing that the person, their energy hasn't gone anywhere. We can still connect, even though they're not sitting next to you, which is hard. They can
mm,
really start to also find that light within themselves, that self love, find a little bit of joy again. And that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of my clients right now, is we're getting to sort of grief never ends, but it's like sort of the tail end of the grief counseling where they're starting to find things that are joyful again.
mhm,
Interesting. A lot of being in Colorado, a lot of them are going out in nature, hiking, pushing
mhm.
themselves a bit further than maybe they thought they could go, which is neat to watch.
Right, right. And how huge is that, right? Because when you do love someone so much, right? And
Mm,
right, and then they're not here anymore, and their life does change, drastically. Uh,
totally. Yeah.
in another way, and like you said, giving yourself permission to let yourself, enjoy your life again. Let yourself,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to,
Yes.
to enjoy, to be happy again. To you really can, and yeah.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time on that. I think sometimes people feel guilty or like,
Mhm.
I'm going to lose that connection with the person if I, am happy again and I'm not grieving, then they're going to be gone or I'm going to forget. And that will never happen. I remind people you'll never forget
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
person. But that's a big fear.
Right, right. Yeah, very true, very true. And what
Mhm,
I found, even just with my own journey, a journey of my own life, and then also
mhm.
with my own spiritual evolution, is that with like grieving, that grieving is a very dense, contracted energy. It's a loss.
Yeah.
And the gift that comes with that is when the sadness or the loss is that when anyone can recognize it's because they do love so greatly, that we do
Yes.
that is
Mhm,
why you're grieving, that is why you are
mhm,
moving through it. And then if they can, like I would love to offer for people, is if they can access their love of who they are again. So it is finding themselves again. I mean, because sometimes people will just lose
absolutely.
themselves, Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Or, they've been in this relationship for so long that their identity is sort of with that person too. And so having to refigure out what that looks like is interesting.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. In fact, I'm staying with my brother right now. Because I've had a big transition
Mm,
in my life this year.
mhm,
Moving through a divorce, and yeah, and it's really like a graduation, but ending that time in my
mhm.
life, and then now having my own time. Yeah, exactly. And there'll even be drop-ins like, of the sadness, because you get comfortable. You get comfortable with where you are, and how things are. And then,
Absolutely.
right,
Mhm,
being moved into a new way. Yeah, exactly. Is these stepping stones. And then my brother's wife just passed too. She had and
mm,
yeah, pretty fast aggressive cancer, and he had asked me to move in with him, which was really so precious. I used to be a
mm,
nurse, so I
yeah.
was able to help a little bit. I mean, he did most of it, that's for sure. But even just that
Mhm,
support. So what I was so proud of him for is the fact that he could ask for the help. He was open to receive it. He got it, and it actually was really precious to see the amount of love that he had for her while she was
mm,
transitioning. And that's what
yeah,
I noticed is that, his wife Anne, that she
mm,
was so loved at that end like
mm.
that. Yeah. So
Wow.
there's actually such, yeah, beautiful pieces in that he can
Mm,
just give so
mhm,
unconditionally, just so beautifully. So in these trying times, yeah. And he's
mm,
doing very well, and he's in a
mhm,
state right now where he's giving away stuff. Like, it's like he has said that some
mhm.
people will just hold on to everything because they don't want to let anything go, but he's doing the opposite. Like, nope, do you want this? Do you want this? And yeah.
They're seeing
So
both.
isn't that fascinating, right?
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I always tell people whatever feels best. You'll know when it's right to start
Mhm.
start doing that. Mhm.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I
Mm,
get it. I get it. Yeah, but
mm,
it is good. So even with just
mm,
I let myself shine, even if we can lift up
mhm,
even from moving, like grief is a really challenging, tough one, but even just other
mm,
pieces. If we're
mm.
okay to talk about times where maybe you might have like dimmed your light, and I'll even share what I definitely did that too, with
Sure.
life, because we don't let a lot of us don't let ourselves fully shine to the level that we're meant to here yet. And this is also the
Yeah.
invitation, right? To move
Mm,
whatever's blocking you so you can move again, so you can
yeah.
fully wake up to who you are. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I've, been more contracted or dimmed my light when I haven't had good boundaries with people. When I say
Mhm.
yes to too many things or take on too many things and then get tired or resentful or burned out. That was a big one that actually really caused me to find Psych-K because I was so burned out. I'm like, I don't know what to do. But really, it was me not saying no to things that I needed to. So, one of our first sessions, I think we did some balances on how to say no, how to set boundaries.
Mhm.
That's okay, and it's not only okay, but it's necessary to, I think, yeah, take back our energy and our light.
Mhm. Oh yeah, that's super huge. Thank you for that. Yeah,
Mhm.
well, a lot of, especially women, and I'm sure there are some men that do it too, but definitely the feminine energy, right? We were taught to sacrifice ourselves, right?
Yes.
Go, be of service to others,
Mhm.
and to, right, think of yourself last, things like that.
Yes.
And if you have a caring heart, it's beautiful, but you're right, a lot of us will lose ourselves, and we don't
Mhm.
even realize that we're doing it. So yeah, no, that is super huge. So yeah, I'd love to offer,
Mhm.
like, for anyone listening, is a key thing is to be able to check in with yourself. I know for myself, I check in with myself every day, and I'm sure you do too. And it's
Yeah.
even like multiple times a day, just because I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling there's just a lot going on right now.
Yes.
Woo, I can even feel it. And I'm like, woo, I need to slow down even a little bit, and giving
Yeah.
ourselves permission for that, right? We've
Yes.
also been taught to go, 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 and we have to do, 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 right? Yeah, exactly. Almost become workaholics in a way. It's
Oh,
this,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we get a lot of, maybe self-worth that way sometimes too, and that can be hard to sort of disentangle that and find, more fun, healthy ways to up our self-worth.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No, this is great. So, and then like
Mhm.
what we do offer is like when you ask key questions, right? Exactly. Like how am I feeling? What is going
Mhm.
on? And having a good friend, like even this, you and I, get talking, right? And
Mhm.
it's great to come up with good friends. And it is great, obviously, to have a counselor, to have a support, like the therapists
Mhm.
are beautiful too. Or like for us, even doing Psyche, sessions, right? To
Yeah.
actually make those changes. Or we'll be talking at the end of the workshop of actually, you can actually come learn Psych-K for yourself to have that tool,
Yes.
in your quill, right? Because I know for
Yes.
you and I, that's what I do is I'll check in with myself. So if I do feel tired or depleted or, what something's going that doesn't feel right,
Mhm.
exactly. Then you'll be able to ask yourself a few key questions, and that's what we help people do. Getting curious, right? What
Mhm.
really is going on, identifying what that is, and then be able to create it in your new way. And that's right. That's what
Yeah.
we are helping with people doing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think another way that my light tends to get dimmed, and probably anyone who's really empathic, is when we sort of take on other people's stuff without knowing it. I'm
Mm,
surprised sometimes how much stuff I'm feeling that's not even mine.
mhm, mhm,
So it's always interesting to sort of check in about that, and then transform that perception, or find another way to kind of get that out of the body. Movement helps a lot, shaking it off, or stretching, or
mhm,
breathing.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. No, you're very right, and that's a piece of that boundaries, right? Is to
Yes.
recognize, yeah, and then we have a right. We have a right to actually command it in, to speak that say, heck, all right, there's only my energy in my body and in my energy field, right?
Yes.
So exactly, and maybe we did sign up to agree to transmute, humanity's energy, which I think a lot of us did as empaths, right? We're here to
Yes.
help a lot, right? And then if we
Yes.
can, like, especially with the gift of Psych-Ks, like I've balanced things where I have it become light. So if it is flowing through me, it doesn't stay. So it just keeps on moving. And then I send love into it. So what I do is if I do feel those things that, like you say, with my breath, I do, that helps me. And then being grounded, like you say, with Mother Earth, and feeling very grounded, that I allow it to recycle. So it's like this whole recycling mechanism that's happening.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Within us.
Hmm.
And then literally we get to be able to create this within us. Exactly. And then, right. I think that is important for us to bring up too, is like asking ourselves, like, how much time are you allowing for yourself, with yourself? Right. And
Yeah.
then connecting with your spiritual team. So I think this is what I want to
Mhm.
offer too. Whether you're raised in a religion or certain cultural backgrounds, we want to honor everybody who's listening, and to recognize that we actually are spiritual beings, and you can connect, with your spirit team. And that's what I've done. That's been my biggest support. Actually, that's actually where I get my most support now, which is
Yes.
which because it's infinite. Like, we actually can connect to these aspects, right? And then obviously, because we live here on this beautiful earth, is actually with Mother Nature. Okay, so now this part we'll be talking about letting ourselves shine and move again, is what can we do, because we are these beautiful, physical beings here that's expanding in our spiritual connections, waking up so that we can shine more. And what does that mean? How does that feel? What can we really do in tangible ways to help ourselves do that? So, and I would love to, we can even offer, so it can just become a natural way of being, that of course we shine, like, of course that we all are meant to shine. We're all meant to,
Mhm.
be our true authentic selves here. So yeah, what are some things that you have been doing and are doing or want to do that helps yourself shine more? And I'll share what I'm doing too. Sound good?
Yeah. Um, I love what you said before the break about connecting with spirit guides and spirit team. I've been really taking the time. I take some time every morning before I really get up, and just kind of sit with a journal, and I'll write questions or intentions, and then kind of go about my day and come back and see if I've intuitively gotten some answers to things. I think the other ways are really doing things out in nature, getting out and hiking, being outside,
Mm.
enjoying the sunshine, even when the weather's cold. I think there's something really nice about that too. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Those are probably my biggest two, is taking the time for myself to connect, and then getting outside, getting in nature, moving.
Mhm.
And there's a nice, I guess, sort of sense of accomplishment with hiking too. If you set out to get somewhere and you make it and get to enjoy it, it feels really nice.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, and it's free. I mean, even isn't that fun, right? You
Yes,
don't have to do anything. You don't have to do things that are expensive. I mean, unless you want to, and that's okay. But
right. Yes,
that's what I
yes.
love. And so that's probably the biggest one is keep it simple. Keep it simple. and for us to do things that you actually can do, and what would you like to do? So I know for myself, to letting myself shine is, I mean, a big one for me is one I know I had to make sure that I feel safe, so that it's okay to shine. And I think a big piece
Mhm.
is that I'll be welcomed, I'll be accepted and loved for just for who I am. And
Yeah.
even if I get it, if people don't get me or don't understand me, I'll kind of chuckle or like giggle inside, because I'm like, okay, it's okay. They're just going to
Yeah.
think whatever they want to believe about me or think about me. And those
Yeah.
are important pieces to bring in too, because that criticalness, that self judgment, the conditioned love that we got so programmed to do, to think,
Yes.
oh, there's something wrong with me, or something's not right, or I'm not good enough, or I need to be better, or I need to be this or that, right? That perfectionist,
Yes.
template. So that's actually the biggest thing that I have done. That's what the gift with Psyche has given me, is that
Mhm.
I totally dove in on those pieces. And then in that is to allow myself to feel again, because I also blocked off my feelings. So I
Yes.
literally became numb. It wasn't safe for me
Yeah.
to feel. My dad like, yeah, you right, you cry, I'll give you something to cry about, kid. It was like toughen up,
Yes. Same. Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Wow. So
Yeah.
now how beautiful that I do believe that we're being invited in this time to let yourself feel. And that's what I've been doing. I let myself feel. I honor whatever I'm feeling, and then I let myself be in it. So if I am
Mhm.
sad or do feel, yeah, especially with the changes that I'm going through right now, there are
Mhm.
times I call them funky times, because they're just kind of like, ooh, really weird
Yeah.
phases. I'm feeling a mix of things. Like I'll feel my joy, I'll feel my love of who I am, and I'll also feel sadness at the same time. It's kind of interesting,
Yes.
like this whole, yeah, like
Yeah.
you and I talked before this talk too, but even about relationships, right? Because I know you and I want to be in
Mhm.
a relationship, right? Because yeah, I
Yeah.
ended one. It's been like
Mhm.
6 months, and I get that I know it's in divine timing. I am trusting that, but that's a whole walk, right? That I think many
Yes.
of us would love to be with our like our main one, the one that you can get
Mhm.
lit up with, so that you can be with some. I would love to be with somebody that I shine so brightly and they love it.
Yes. Me too.
Woo! Right, 'cause I feel like I have been dimmed, or just, "No, you're too much," or, "Whoa, I don't know what to
Oh,
do
yeah.
with you," or that kinda stuff, and I get it. It's just
Yeah.
the best that happened, with the relationship that I was in, and it taught me a lot. It taught me that, hey, you know what? What do I really want? How do I wanna be? I choose to wanna be me. All of me, and, even if
Yes.
I'm goofy or fun or whatever, that, some people might think it might be too much, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, that's it.
Right.
And to be with
Yeah.
somebody that accepts that loves that's, so anchored in himself so well that they can actually admire it and enjoy it. And then what a dance when you can, I believe, share a life
Mhm.
with somebody that, right, enjoys your color, your brilliance, your, uniqueness, and then doing that for somebody else too, right? So I think a
Yeah.
huge one is to let that move, let that go, and then, right, for us to find out. So what will be important for us to believe? What is important, that making sure at the subconscious level that you have these parts running within you, that that I am accepted for who I am. I am deeply loved. I am perfect just the way I am. These are important pieces, for us to be able
Absolutely.
to, I believe, to do in order for us to be able to shine. And then we can vibrate and resonate just in the true essence of who we are, the love of who we are, the joy,
Yeah.
that authenticity, right? Yeah. And then that can move us into our careers, or our callings, right? Like how you got moved into it with being able to be a spiritual medium, right? And to
Yes.
connect,
Yeah.
which is so beautiful. I'm doing quite a bit of that, even with the giftings that have opened up for me, of just, right. It's just
Mhm.
because it's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's
And
so
like, go ahead,
interesting.
whatever. I'm an interconnector, so anything I can connect, that I do connect with, then yeah, exactly. You'll get that
Mhm.
information and bring it in. So many of us are opening
Mhm.
up. I call it our ascended mastery journey. That
Yes.
we in this lifetime, many of us are being called to ascend into our mastery, a mastery of just of our
Mhm.
love, of who we are, of our gifts, and to focus in on, what is the most important pieces that we would love to master. So
Yes.
I'll ask this for you. What is something that you want to master? What's something that you would love to, really,
Mm.
really, like, say,
Mm.
heck yeah, like you did with the hiking, but doing that even within your own self,
Yeah.
who you are. Yeah.
Yes. I've been doing a lot of work with that lately, and taking some classes in like past life regressions and things like that to try to see, what am I working on in this lifetime, and what's the theme sort of been? And a big one that keeps coming up that I really think I'm here to master this time is the self-love piece.
Mm,
Just as you mentioned, being too much, or I think for me, I learned how to be a chameleon. I could sort of be whatever somebody wanted or needed me to
mhm,
be, and in so doing, then losing yourself and also losing, I think, respect for yourself. And so
mhm,
really having to rebuild and work through a lot of that self-love that I think we all innately have, but it gets so blocked up or clouded up by things.
mhm.
And then on the flip side of that coin is then being able to share that love with somebody else. I think that's kind of my two things to learn on this go around.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I can feel it. That's really good. Yeah, heck
Yeah,
yeah. And you're gonna do it.
yeah,
It's already happening. Like I know. And
it's
that's
feeling so much better. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's the important piece for us to allow ourselves to understand we are on a journey. I know
Mm,
for me, I was super impatient. Like I was always rushing. I was always in a
me too.
hurry, right? A part of me knew things could be happening a lot faster than they are here, And I'm
Totally.
like, why is it so slow here, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, and now, and that's actually one of my masteries too, is that I'm learning to master time. I think that's one of my big pieces here
Yeah. That's a big
is to
one.
be a master of my own time and what's important to me and what's important, right? For
Yes.
what brings me joy, what lights me up. Right. And then give myself
Yeah.
permission to do that because we get to. That's the gift of being our own individual selves here, right? And then to share that gift to others. Right. And then for me,
Yeah.
there's two words, actually three words that dropped in for me. So I'll offer my words and then, yeah, we'll see maybe what words are going to come up for you. And then I'm going to offer whoever's listening to let yourself get some reflection time to find out if you could put it into words of like you say what is your mastery here, what is
Mm,
your biggest gift that you can offer for yourself and others, and that you would love to like if you could just do three things or focus in on three things, what would those three things be? For
mhm,
me, it's connection, love,
mhm.
love,
Yeah.
because I love experiencing it, giving it, receiving it, that connection
Mhm,
of my divinity and then my connection of my masculine,
mhm,
feminine, and the human
mhm,
parts of and then connections, right? With there's just so much we can connect with. And then the third one is fun. I like things to be easy and fun in life.
mm.
I'm like, oh heck
Yes.
yeah. And I'm like, okay, we can do
Mhm.
this a lot easier. We can do this a lot faster. We can do this, in a more playful way. And so that's my
Yes.
that I'm here to gift the world. And
Mm,
it just landed in me like this past week, or actually a couple weeks. I did an ayahuasca
mm,
experience. That was amazing. I love grandmother
mm.
ayahuasca. And
Yes.
if you're offered those things, right, it's really beautiful to offer for yourself
Mm,
the beautiful plant medicines. Yeah, that's was my gift that I received. And my spirit name is Mahana, so I'll be moving
mm,
in the next year of just more letting people know that
mm,
that's more of my of who I resonate with. And this may
mhm,
happen with people. You literally we're going to be dying to the old and thanking it and
mhm,
dissolving it and integrating it into our new ways of being so that we can actually have multiple lives here in one lifetime and
mm,
do that. So that's our ability to be able to shine in new ways, shine. It's literally like we are really the chrysalis. We actually are activating our crystalline DNAs. We're doing
mm,
so much. And this is what I'm beginning to help other people with too to
mhm,
bring in the original template of what our human bodies that we were originally designed in to be completely spiritual, divine, connecting with everything, the
mhm,
universe, higher
mhm,
dimensions,
mhm,
spirituality, and earthly things, gorgeous, Mother Earth and
mhm,
things that we do here, and our masculine, feminine uniting. So all those connections
mm.
and having
Mhm.
fun doing it because we're in the Aquarian age. We're done with the Pisces age, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm going to keep offering to people to remind them. 23 years now into the Aquarian, and we'll have 1,000 years of it. So this is where the peace
Oh.
and the harmony and the unity and right things coming in.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you had three words to play with, what words do you think?
Mm.
And you can obviously adjust them
Yeah.
or adapt.
I think connection and love are big ones for me too. And I think a big one just throughout has been healing, helping heal my own stuff and helping other people heal from their stuff, whether it's grief or loss, mental health challenges, things like that. I think that really feels like what I'm here to do. And so, that's ever changing and um, evolving, I think, as I learn more things and try out different, trainings and things. I've been having a lot of fun just signing up for these classes and different things that look fun. And um,
Mhm.
that's helped a lot. Just really following my curiosity, I think, has been huge in that healing journey. I don't know what the end of it will look like, but um, I'm very fortunate to have had clients that really are enjoying it too. And so they're like, "Oh, what did you learn? Let's try it." you know,
Oh,
which
and
has been
that's so
really
beautiful because you're doing it for
yeah,
your healing for your own self, and then you're going to offer for others. Yeah, that's beautiful. It resonates, and I can even feel it. I feel we're letting ourselves shine and move, moving our emotions, moving our ideas, moving our wisdom. This is the gift we get to do. We get to move a lot of things. So that's neat. We can move mountains.
yeah,
I know when the timing is right, and the more we're able to connect in and remember again who we really are, why we're here. Yeah, let life become
yeah,
purposeful, right? Yeah,
yeah.
to shine brightly. Oh, I love it, and I loved how you were just talking about the three words for you is that connection, that love, and healing, right? And
Yeah.
healing, that word heal and healing. I like to play with words and letters. That the healing helped me a lot. Like our Archangel Raphael likes to work with me, play with me a bit. Is that
Yeah.
healing is like I see the word heal, HEAL, is like heal is like the helium, so it's almost like a balloon. If we, once we're ready to heal, once we're ready to let things go and be in a new way, to move again, to shine again, is and then the all part, like the healing is like the helium, and all is like it's like an elevation, or the AL is like an upward elevation. So I see that is the moment that and we get our free will choice. So we get to choose. People can choose to stay stuck or to not move or just to be in a rut, but we are always going to be invited, aren't we, to begin to move again, to shine again, to heal. And the healing part is really a powerful mechanism for us to to experience in new ways, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I love it. So, is there any wise words that you would like to share? And then also, how can people reach you? How can people,
Oh,
reach
sure.
you? Because they would love to have your assistance if you want that.
Yeah, so my website is just kristennathan.com. So my name, I think, is there on the screen. And then the best way to reach me is my email, and it's into the woods, all spelled out, .kristen@gmail.com. And I'm happy to answer questions or set up sessions or talk about what that would look like. I do grief counseling sessions in Colorado, and then mediumship, spiritual mediumship sessions I can do anywhere online. So, yeah, words of wisdom. Ooh, that's a tricky one. I think for me, the biggest key was just taking a step, just doing something and starting somewhere. So I started with PSYCH-K. That helped me a lot. I still use that almost every day. And then I kind of moved into, like you said, connecting with the spiritual team and getting, information that way. Once my intuition was turned on a little bit more, that's really been huge. Just writing down these intentions and kind of stepping aside, going about my day, and waiting for hopefully some information to come through, whether it's through like a synchronicity or just something that kind of pops into my head, something I see. Those things have really made all the difference for me. And those are things I think anybody can do, right? Take a step somehow, get some support, and then, start connecting.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That is so awesome. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. And how beautiful that. And what it is it's in everyone's free will choice and in the right timing. So that's what I
Yeah,
love. It's in our readiness, right? And I think anyone
yeah,
listening to this talk, they're definitely ready. Otherwise, they wouldn't have taken the time out to listen to this talk, right?
right. Yes.
Yeah. So what I'd love to offer is anyone that's listening now is to open up some time for yourself. That's another big piece, that you have a right to your own timing. And like you had said, you start in the morning. I do too. I have my beautiful morning sacred ritual, or maybe it's the evening for somebody, or sometime during the day. We all get 24 hours. So before you go to sleep tonight, open up about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, right? And then ask yourself, wow, am I ready to start moving again? Am I ready to start shining brighter than I ever have before? Okay. And then like you say, keep trying, maybe write down, okay, so what might be blocking me from doing that? Meaning, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of losing if I start taking that step? That's a huge question to ask yourself. And the gift is you, when you do ask it, you also have the answer. Because whatever issue we created, we also are the ones who have a part of us that has solved it. And that's, and how neat is that when you realize, what? I'm actually that powerful? Yeah, you actually are. And with that, I think it is helpful to get the help, get the support. It is good to do things on our own. Like with PSYCH-K, you can learn how to use this for yourself, which is beautiful. Making those changes, removing those blocks that's blocking you at the subconscious level, and putting in what you do want to believe so that you have a new program that can help you on that. And private sessions, like you had a private session with me, and I have a friend, Sabine, and we connect with each other, that helps each other. It's coming to the workshops are nice because you can meet other friends too, and then you guys can barter or supports with that too, because it's good. It's nice. We do things for ourselves. Absolutely. Ask those questions, and then, like you say, just begin with something. Go take a gentle walk. Go do something in a new way. And I think that's the big thing. Is instead we get we are habit creatures, and we get in ruts of habits. So begin something new, something that's going to bring us joy, something that you like, wow, I'm going to do something that helps me feel good, about myself, helps me feel good about that I can contribute something here. That's super huge. And even just go play, maybe just go lay on the grass and start laughing. That could be one thing that you could do,
I love
right?
it. Yes.
And say, hey, I'm going to begin again. And then if anyone wants to get a hold of me, they just go to my website, igniteandhealyourlife.com. So igniteandhealyourlife.com. And one more time, igniteandhealyourlife.com. They can hit a contact us button, and then it'll send an email. And I even have my phone number if you want to text me too. Exactly. I am teaching workshops. So I am one of the certified PSYCH-K instructors that teaches PSYCH-K. And PSYCH-K is just a beautiful tool to help us make the changes that are blocking us. Remove those blocks and then insert what you do want, and you'll be amazed how your life will change. That's what happened for you and me, and it happens for everyone that's ready. I am teaching next weekend, November 10th to the 12th in Louisville, Kentucky. So we have spots, come on in. The weekend after that, I'm doing an online workshop if you want to learn to use this tool right from the comforts of your home. So November 17th weekend, right from online. End of January, I'll be in Florida. So when you go to my website, you can look at all the upcoming events I have them booked all the way through the end of May on my website. So if it's time, like you did, you said you heard the nudge and you said yes. And I know you're forever grateful. I am too. When I said yes, when I was called for this too, it's a gift. It's a gift for us. And to help us open up and recognize that we're a gift here. So everyone listening, you are a gift. You are a gift, and you're meant to shine. You're meant to shine brightly. You're meant to move from your love, with your love, and share it with the world. So thank you again, Kristen, for being here. I love
Thank
you
you,
very much.
Mary. Oh,
Thank
yes, I
you.
love you.
Thank you. Thank you.